My name is Brenda Applegate. I'm the Executive Director of the Beaver County Historical Research and Landmarks Foundation. Our offices are located in the Vicary Mansion, which was built in 1826 by Captain William Vicary, and this house was built for his family. At that time, there were 4 children and his wife that lived here.
Very good. And here, what are we looking at here, Brenda?
You're looking at, you're in the kitchen area of the house, and you're looking at where the fireplace was. And the fireplace, directly below the fireplace, was an ash pit. And they would throw their ashes down into the fire, their room below, and then either use those to make lye soap or to fertilize their garden.
And I might mention that we're standing on a glass floor.
Yes.
Looking down into this ash pit.
Correct.
And that was a stove over there or a fireplace down there?
Well, the red line, back underneath the tables, there is a red line that was a fireplace and 1 bake oven. And I'm not sure which way it opened out into the room, but that's where they would do all their cooking and their baking. And it was torn down when they put the smaller coal stoves and ovens in that were modern interventions at a later time. We know that this was Mary's parlor. The captain was married to Mary Gosler. She was an educated woman. She went to the Moravian Academy in Bethlehem. And we have a room kind of divided in half. Right now you're looking at the 1890s organ, and we have a Victorian settee. And then on this half we have the early 1800s settee and the early 1800s square grand piano. So there are 2 pictures on the wall behind the fireplace. We think that the baby is Hazel Nana. There are no names on it. And then the other lady could be possibly her mother. The fireplace mantle is not original to the house. Either Vicary's granddaughter or the Bishop Burgers, who were renting the house with the option to own it, did some renovations, and they replaced the original fireplace mantle with this one. I know Mount Monticello has picture rails, and the time of that house was 1790s. So the fireplace there is original, but it was found sandwiched between 2 walls upstairs. Is this on the TV? I can turn lights on if you want lights on.
It's coming out real good. We're going upstairs in the Victor house right now.
When it was divided into apartments, these 2 rooms were bedrooms, and the hallway was the dining room and the living room, and then the yellow room was the kitchen.
Okay.
So those 2 closets are not original. They were added at the turn of the century.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they weren't in closets, were they?
No, there were 2 closets. That tiny little closet,
Okay.
and then there was one
over here.
Actually, that's an old wives' tale. They haven't documented that as being factual. It's something that, like we used to say, don't let the bed bugs bite, sleep tight. They don't even know if that's really affiliated with the corn husk mattress and all that. I mean, it might have been something we say now, but it's not necessarily what was with the time period of the house. And the same way with the closets. They talk about that in Philadelphia area, and they're saying that wasn't even true there, that they taxed the closets as a room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, our textbooks, we actually use all of them, so which is kind of fun. This paint we recently had analyzed. We weren't sure if it was a primer, if it was actually the paint. And the woman determined that it was actually paint, and the plaster underneath has cattle hair in it, which is kind of red cattle hair too. The fireplace chimney came up through this hole here, and there was a beaded wall that came up to the chimney and formed a hallway that went down through this half of the house. And all of our looms work. The kitchen.
I figure they always had the back.
This is the service steps going to the service quarters. A little staircase going down.
Neat.
Can't imagine that this bed would be comfortable.
Actually, when you put a feather ticking, I mean, you'd have your straw and corn husks on the bottom, and then you'd put a feather ticking on top. And so it would be kind of fluffy. It wouldn't be,
As lumpy as it looks.
that's probably why this is called the ballroom. We're not sure what Captain Vicary used it for.
Well, a lot of the old plantation houses had ballrooms, and usually on the third floor.
But see, his trim isn't very ornate. His doors are plain. Yeah. So I don't know if Vicary would have used it as a ballroom. Plus, he was raised by Quakers.
So they didn't dance.
So there was probably no dance. Yeah, you're right, probably no dancing.
Yeah, the workers didn't dance.
So, I don't know.
Interesting.
We have spinning classes, we have weaving classes.
I used to have